Now you listen to me real good. I've told you once, I said it 1,000 times. You get out of those pagan, satanic, religious, Christian churches. Christians do not follow the commandments of the Bible. Christians do what they want to do. They make up their own laws, their own rules, and their own regulations. Come out of her, my people, and come out from among them. And it's real simple and easy to ascertain who are these people you need to come out from. Easy. Number one, if they keep Sunday, that's an automatic sign that you need to not have any fellowship with these commandment-breaking, wicked deceivers and seducers and bewitchers of the truth. Simple. Pastor Corey, come over and say a few words. Don't worry about his way. He ain't going to preach no 1,000-year-old message. He going to give some words of exhortation. Good to see Pastor Corey. Give me a mic up there.
Well, Israel, I'm telling you, it's been a joy this weekend being at Straitway and, having an opportunity to come and see all the brethren and the sisters again, mother, and just being down here in the land again. Because I tell you, being in the city, for us is, it's a strain every day. It's a strain every day. And, you get an opportunity to look and have opportunity to look out and spend time. I was talking to, I was talking to you the other day, Brother Rick? No, I wasn't talking to Brother. Who was I talking to? About the rams and the goats and the bulls that was out there. I was talking to you, Dad. That's why we was sitting out there. And it's just, some of the things he was telling us, that's way away from city life, compared to what we do. And so, here's the thing, Israel. I'm not going to get up and share a whole bunch, but I do have just a small piece that I want to put on our hearts, because this is what I find, even when I talk to the saints back in Kansas City. And you got to understand this. Elder, if there's a problem in between brothers and sisters, or even if you see somebody transgressing the law, and you have the opportunity, you see me, and you witness it, and you don't say nothing, guess what? You partake in my wickedness. So this is what we're dealing with, because the more that you find yourself not being set apart or not in a place that is set apart for Yahweh and setting yourself apart in heart, then guess what? You find yourself a lot of times in transgression on the opposite side of the will of the Father. And so, what I found is that we cannot be in fear to go to a brother and let that brother or that sister know that, brother, you transgressing, you wrong. And you got to do it with strength. You got to do it with a righteous rebuke, and you got to rebuke with all authority. You got it? Because what's important about this, saints, and I'm gonna leave this really quick, is that what I found when I had opportunity to sit down, I have to properly discern, when I'm getting ready to say something to somebody. Because a lot of people can't receive from it. They can't receive a good word from me where you're getting ready to lay something on their heart about being in the will of the Father opposed on being on the outside of the will of the Father. And a lot of times that leads us to finding that people get angry at us, Brother Rich, because you don't want me to say this to you. You look at me and with your head you nod and say yes, but really, in all essence, you are upset with me because I came to you like a man. I told you, because I love the Father. I would do it, brother. I'd do it for you because I'm dragging your feet out of the fire. So we get that confused with, who do you think you are telling me, when I know, or this is the other one we hear all the time, saints, the Father's Spirit on all of us. So just like you in the Spirit, I'm in the Spirit. So what you saying, you know what make the Father has an order. He has a proper order that's fitting for all of us for the perfecting of the saints. Am I correct? Yes, sir. Am I right? Yes, sir. Hallelujah. Well, saints, really quick, I want to touch Proverbs chapter 22, verse 24. Brother Shane, you got that back there? We're going to run through just a few of them and get down. I'm enjoying it. Get standing, pass the dial shoes real quick on the Sabbath up here and enjoy myself down here. You ready, Brother Shane?
Yes.
Yes, sir. 22:24.
Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go.
Now, you understand what they're saying, right? See, if I come to you in value of correcting and reproofing, and you can't receive this, then how's our fellowship now? It's time to sever ties, right? Because if I go beyond wisdom, right, then I'm setting myself up for failure. I'm setting myself up for a great hurt. All right? See, and this is why I'm saying it, because I'm talking to the saints, but I'm talking back home too. I'm talking to the saints there because it's time, without a shadow of a doubt, for us to be all the way 100% in the will of our Father in heaven. And I'm telling you, I knew this weekend was going to be such a recharging for me because I could see this thing. I'm just looking at, I was messing with Sister Damaris. I told her, I said, I'm mad because you done moved down here, so you free. But it's a great place to be in, because being here, everybody know it, all the saints know. See, there's no way that you could tell me that you believe that you're going to come to the land and do whatever you want to do. Brother Darrell, right? Because guess what? The saints are about correcting you. When we left GOTS, I remember I had sisters and brothers telling me all the time, somebody said this to me. Somebody said something about my tattoo. Somebody said something about my shirt being down on my shoulder. Good. Because we're pushing to move in where the Father wants us to be. The Father has a perfect will, a perfect order. And if you allow the people that's put in place before you, be it a sister, be it an elder, be it a pastor, guess what? You'll be a part of the perfecting that's needed for us to go on into the kingdom. Hallelujah. Bless you. All right, Brother Shane, I want you to grab Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. Yeah, but saints, I'm glad that we have messages coming forth like this, because it just only lead us, in the right direction in all that we should be. Go ahead, Brother Shane.
And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers.
Go ahead and read 12 too.
For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ.
See, guess what? This is what we're talking about. This is what edifying the body is about. I remember I had a gentleman tell me that was with us at one point, why don't you let me stand up and get a word? For what? Because this edify. I said, no, this ain't edifying the body. It's something I need you to do. What if I need you to do something? I said, brother, I don't have no problem with servicing you, because if you go read, I believe it's in Romans chapter 15, we should first be servants of one another. So I don't have a problem with that. but it's all about the anointing. You may not be anointed to say one word, and you're going to lead people astray because you have a philosophy. And so these are the things that lead us in the right direction. Saints, like I said, I'm happy, at the same time, I understand what Pastor Dow go to because I'm getting a taste of it. I'm seeing it. Where you buck up in your own right. And I'm watching the Father begin to separate people out. And I don't feel sorry. I'm glad. Because it's about being Kodesh. It's about being holy and set apart. Brother Shane, get for me, brother, Deuteronomy chapter 1, 11 through 15. Good old Davardine. There we go. Now I want you to pay attention to old Moshe here. All right? You ready, brother?
Yahweh Elohim of your fathers make you 1,000 tribes, so many more as you are, and bless you as he hath promised you. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? Take, you wise men, and understanding, and know among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you. And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s, and captains over 10s, and officers among your tribes.
Now you hear that, saints? See, we ordered up, and people think this structure is no longer in existence. It's done. It's out of place. But I'm going to tell you why it's still in place. Because somewhere around the corner, Brother Doug, you may think you're getting away with something. And then, in fact, Moses was sitting there by himself from sun up to sundown, judging all the affairs of Israel by himself. Now, those of you all on the land, passed out from my eyes from not being on the land. Passed out is working hard, extremely hard. And so, looking at that from this standpoint, you have to have a willing heart to be a servant, because this what makes this all. This what make all of this work. This what make this ministry go. This what make people like me get on YouTube and find this and say, I got to come see what this is about. Because it wasn't just Pastor Day. He couldn't do this by himself. That meal Sister Ashley cooked yesterday, guess what? Man, they had a good meal at Straitway. Because you was a servant. See, this is what the perfecting of the saints is. It's not sitting down like I tell some of the brothers. They want to sit and do this, 23 out of 24 hours a day. Tell you every word from Genesis to Revelation, but no application. None. And so what we're talking about, saints, is really you finding a place right now with the Father, within this ministry, within the work that's required to be done so we can push this kingdom where it needs to be. Because you're charged. You're charged to do it. So being charged, saints, you have to have your heart prepared for the work. Like Pastor Dow said, he had to, carry something that might not be pleasant. Move the pile from this side to this side. These are the things that I watch, folks. I'm just imparting in the saints wisdom, because I've watched saints, you finagle and wiggle. I may not be good at this, but Pastor, this way. No, Father showed something else. I need you to come out, and I need you to stand on this. Because it's something the Father got for you in this. When you learn how to do this and quit questioning. But you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to lay this. You can't be afraid to lay this upon saints, brethren, sisters, because they're gonna be angry at you. Because they're gonna be upset with you telling the truth. All right. Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Verse 14. Chapter 14, verse 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40, Brother Shane.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Some things, right?
All things.
All things. See, this is why I see this, because I'm harping on this, saints, because I long for all saints. I don't care who you are. All those who have your eyes to be open, all you had the veil to be removed. I long for all the saints, all across this nation, all everywhere, to come out in this type of manner. Because this is holy, I'm telling you. You may get tired. You may get tired of, the day-to-day, because you're not living in it. You're not seeing it. So I'm talking the straightway now. I'm telling you, you all have a special, very special thing going on. I cried out right there this morning because the Holy Spirit is dwelling so tough on me, because the heart is right. The heart is right in this place. And I thank the Father. I cried out to him, because we as a holy people don't understand that what you all are already doing, it's going to be required that more of us do this thing, and do it without question. Do it in a matter where we are setting up this order that the Father laid before us, because this is the only way we're going to be able to maintain and endure the race to the end and be able to be that type of people. So when we're doing these things, we're crafting according to the word that the Father is saying. I'm going to give you one example. And I got a few more scriptures. I'm going to sit down. We had, a situation where we had a sister that she was coming to Sabbath. She would hear the messages coming forth. Other sisters would sit and talk to her. You want prayer, you want deliverance. When is deliverance going to work? Because deliverance work, right? Then it finally came out. I get the phone call. Hello? I won't be coming back. Coming back where? Well, I won't be coming back to Sabbath and just all this stuff y'all got going on. I know who my God is. Oh, gotcha. And what? Well, me and my son, we're going to do Christmas this year. My sons and your son. See, because what you're getting ready to do right now, you're getting ready to sever yourself from the Father. And all my job is to tell you the truth. And this is what I'm going to tell you. When you step outside of this covenant to do your own will, there's no more deliverance here. There's nothing else here. Because we done. You're going to have to find your own way, because this is not what the Father. We're not doing our own will. This is what the Father wants to do. So when you step out in it, you chose your portion and your lot. That's yours. And you got to be willing to say this to people, because I could have eased her on out. Well, sister, So I'm just talking about us as saints being able to stand on the word firmly in spirit and truth and do this thing 100%. That's the only reason why I came. Because I'm going to tell you something about me. I grew up in the streets in St. Louis. Me and my brother was talking this past week when I was there. We had a long conversation about some of the stuff we used to do. Now, he went completely harder than I did. But I wasn't nothing to play with. I did some stuff. So in this, I know if I could do that in the streets out where I grew up and the things I did, then I know in this I can stand firm. I can look you in your eyes and tell you the truth. With no fear, and be who the Most High Yah has commanded me to be for this. This is why I believe in Pastor Dow. That's why I was drawn to this. Because I seen strength through that. Your voice didn't scare me. I said, man, this dude right here. I was telling my wife, when I sat up and watched all them videos, I said, man, this dude is hollering through every video, man. He got to be fired up about this. And it was good to, make a connection, call in on Blog Talk, and know that everything that he was saying, because everything checked out. I checked it out all night, Pastor. I'm telling you. I didn't get tired. Because I wanted to see, how come I don't know this? How come I don't see this? And everything he said checked out. And so, living righteously, Pastor Dow is bringing forth some truth that can't be denied, and a lifestyle that if you live it, this is going into the kingdom. Oh, yeah. This is going into the kingdom. Let's touch a few more. In fact, I want to touch Matthew chapter 18 and verse 15 through 17. And I got one more after that. But, this is sometimes, this is how you run into being afraid to properly correct or reprove a brother or a sister, because it takes that. It takes us, iron sharpening iron, and being able to brush up against each other in truth and bringing out the true Israelite that we are to become, the true person that we are to be in Christ. All right, go ahead, brother. You have that, Brother Shane?
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
Hallelujah. And so this is really, when you had this thing coming, what this is all about, and this is no different than, ancient Israel. This is no different than getting the calamity out of the camp. This is no different than that. Same thing. Because this is what I do know. And I watched the Father do something really special. I want to say, it could have been about 2 months ago. And I think I told Pastor Dow about this. We had a sister, matter of fact, a lady that I personal trained. She's one of my clients. And she came into the gym. And as she walked into the gym, clear as day, the Father just wanted me to start talking to her about some things. I didn't hesitate when I said it. She stopped and looked at me and said, what made you just say that? I said, Father put it on my heart. She said, I had a dream about this. I was just asking, who can I talk to about this? And here it was you. I said, sister, I don't know about the dream. I'm just being obedient. All right? And so we end up sitting down, having a sit down with her later on, me and Brother Snow, another sister Jasmine. We went and sat down with her at a restaurant, and we were just talking to her. I mean, the Father was piercing her heart, and it was a good time. And I walked off, went to the restroom, and as I was standing there in the restroom, as I was washing my hands, I looked up in the mirror, and then it's like I seen this vision. The Father was saying, put Satan out of the congregation. And then I seen one of the sisters getting put out. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, Father, I don't understand this. What is going on? So I left it alone. I didn't say nothing. I didn't tell Brother Snow. I didn't tell Sister Jasmine. Me and my wife was sitting on the couch the very next day at 1 p.m., probably exactly. Did not get a call. I just had a dream. I was getting put out. And the same thing I saw, I was breathing, talking, same thing. I saw it clear. The same thing I saw her. We had her at the door. Half her was in, half her was out. In her dream, she was walked to a fence. Half her was in, half her was out. In the vision and in her dream, she had a choice to either what she was dealing with, to have it cast from among the congregation and out, remove all calamity, whatever it is, whatever you got between anybody in this congregation, or whatever manner of wickedness that you may be dealing with, it's time for it to go. And so, the Father just showed me, because before that, I believe her husband had a talk with her. See, a lot of times, two witnesses may not be you and you. The Spirit could be you and the Holy Spirit. And when you get instructed ahead of time, or the Father put it on your heart, or you see something that's not right, it's best to move, because the Father is going to edify everything that he's doing. He's going to show you. This thing is all about what he's doing to increase us in spiritual growth. And that's what I look for. I look for power. I look for the power of the Holy Spirit to move all the time. That's why I know for a fact that we're in the right place. I know for a fact. See, here's the thing that it's funny you said, Pastor Dow, that you said Brother Brett had a dream about that. It's funny you say that, because, the Father is really showing, because he's having an opportunity to introduce us to a lot of movements, a lot of things in Kansas City, a lot of people who say with their mouth that they was Israelites, but they hate right ruling. See, a lot of folks gonna miss it. See, I'm seeing the remnant being put together by the hand of Yah himself. And that's why it's best for all of us to line up perfectly with this and be careful about what you plant. See, here's the thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say, because seeing this in the congregation and not going to a brother and not removing calamity the proper way, but going around and saying, look, Brother Rich, Brother Freeman, right, all right? So I just want you to know that about him. The Father hated. The Father hates that, because guess what? It's out of order. We just read how you're supposed to handle it, right? Father, he hated. Let's touch it real quick, and then, like I said, I'm gonna sit down and I'm off the mic. Let's touch Proverbs, chapter 6. All right, and Brother Shane, I believe I'm going to have you to read down. I'm going to have you read, Brother Shane, verse 16 to 19.
These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Hallelujah. Now this is what I'm saying in closing, saints, is this. You got 2 choices. Live like the heathens, or live amongst the saints in this day. That you save your own soul, so somebody else can watch over you safely. And I'm saying this, especially in Kansas City, no, because the time has come for all of us to choose whether you want to keep living amongst the world or do you want to live, because some people don't want an hourglass on. I don't want you to see what's in my closet. I love you on Sabbath, but on Sunday, let me have Sunday to Thursday, and I promise I'll be good on the Sabbath. That's why I said this is good living, saints. How we living down here? I see it all. I mean, the word from, taking care of the elderly, widows, right? Selling everything you had. Did you not tell me that? Did you do it for me? You did it for the Most High. See, this is what's going on. This is what's beautiful about what we have here, saints. Thank the Father in heaven that he has brought us to a ministry, to a place amongst like-minded saints in the midst of those who love the Father enough to begin to shed these things that will keep us from our salvation. Bless the Father on this holy day, and bless you, Pastor. Thank you for allowing me to have a word to get up to share with the saints. Bless you, saints.
Uh-oh, look at him looking.